Check test 1 2. Check test 1 2. Check test 1 2. Check test 1 2. There it is. Check test 1 2.
Brothers of the South Central Province, I call this second business session to order. Brother LeVar Brown, please come forward and give roll call.
Good morning, good brothers. As we did on yesterday morning, please raise your hand when I call your chapter's name using that feature. Starting with our undergraduate chapters, Kappa chapter. Alpha Delta. Alpha Omicron. Alpha Theta. Alpha Epsilon. Beta Mu. Beta Lambda. Epsilon Rho. Eta Alpha. Eta Beta. Eta Gamma. Kappa Beta. Lambda Iota. Lambda Pi. Mu Rho. Nu Rho. Omicron Epsilon. Pi Pi. Rho Rho. Rho Sigma. Theta Beta. Xi Nu. Zeta Kappa. Zeta Lambda. Zeta Omicron. Alumni chapters. Bowling Green alumni. Brentwood alumni. Chattanooga alumni. Clarksdale alumni. Corinth alumni. Fort Knox alumni. Frankfurt alumni. Germantown alumni. Hendersonville alumni. Hopkinsville, Fort Campbell alumni. Jackson alumni. Knoxville alumni. Lexington alumni. Louisville alumni. Memphis alumni. Murfreesboro alumni. Nashville alumni. Newport Covington alumni. Oxford alumni. Paducah alumni. And South Haven alumni. Thank you, brothers.
Brothers, as we move forward in our agenda, next will be the chapter Invisible Memoriam.
Brothers, as we pause to reflect on our dear brothers that we've lost this past year, I want to take an opportunity to request brothers to continue to pray for each other, pray for healing, pray for understanding, pray for health. We lost some major pillars in our fraternity this year and in our province. So I will take an opportunity to read the names that were submitted, and then we will open the floor for any names that is not listed. Brothers can chime in and state that brother's name. Brother Harvey Branch. Brother Rodney Hughes. Brother Norvell Sanders. Brother Donald Jackson. Brother Julian Hart. Brother Ezekiel Owens. Brother Thon Anderson. Brother Amzi Burt Jr. Brother Johnny Curry. Brother Mark Curry. Brother John E. Sumlin II. Brother Harold Derrickson. Brother Paul Lloyd Cooley. Brother Lewis N. Willis. Brother William Bill Donaldson. Brother Eric Kinslow Sr. Brother Norman Hurd. Brother Dwayne Watkins Sr. Brother Robert Bobby Calbert. Brother Dr. Charles Foreman. Brother Christopher L. Ramsey Sr. Brother Charles Jones. Brother Leonard Morton. Brother Jerome Matcham. Brothers, we will now open it up for any brothers that was not called. If you would like an opportunity to have those brothers recognized, please raise your hand. Floor recognizes Brother Pernell Mitchell.
Good morning, brothers. We had two brothers, Brother Richard Gentry, I believe he was Alpha Theta, and we had Brother Manny Kalk, who was our superintendent here in Fayette County.
Thank you, brother. Floor recognizes Malik Smith. Brother Malik Smith.
Yes, we have Brother Alcee Hastings, Alpha Delta chapter.
Floor recognizes Brother John Ford. Floor recognizes Brother Clay Smalley.
We have Brother Reverend Earl Jackson, Bowling Green Alumni Chapter.
Floor recognizes Brother John Ford.
Good morning, brothers. We have brothers John H. Branham of Nashville Alumni and Brother Sanford Happer, Nashville Alumni.
Any other brothers? Floor recognizes Brother Elgin Moody.
Brothers, we had Brother Ronald Walls.
Thank you, Brother Moody. Any other brothers? Brothers, we will now observe a moment of silence. Thank you, my dear brothers. Be blessed.
Thank you, Brother Brown. Brothers, at this time, we will move forward with our grand chapter report. I believe we have Brother Michael Weaver, one of South Central Province's own Grand Board of Directors. Brother Weaver, are you ready? Brother Weaver, please unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning, good brother.
I'm so excited to be here this morning. Do you all have the presentation?
We're sliding up now, sir.
Always good to be back in my province, the best province, the South Central province. So super excited to be here, and always I have to recognize our province Polemarch, Leonard E. Clements, for the wonderful work that he's doing, as well as our senior province vice Polemarch, Brother Woolridge, for the work that you are doing. Man, I can't leave out my good brother, Brother Jeremiah Elston, for all the work that he continues to do. And so super excited and honored to be here on behalf of the 34th administration. And I bring greetings from the 34th administration on behalf of our 34th Grand Polemarch, Reuben A. Shelton III, Esquire. And so we're just gonna hop right into it. It's been an interesting year, from COVID-19 to the polarizing election to the racial tension that affects all of us. You brothers have stood strong through all of the adversity, and I'm so proud to call the South Central Province my home. Man, it's great to know. It was my hope that we would be in person by now, but hopefully next year we'll be there fellowshipping together, and having some fun. And so I'm super excited, and we can move to the next slide. So these will be our topics for today, just talking through a few things: demographics, governance, core values, IHQ updates, the 85th Grand Chapter meeting, the undergraduate initiatives, the extract report, and new initiatives. This is just a reminder that at each meeting, this statement should be read by the keeper of records or his designee. And so if you don't have a copy of this, we'll make sure that you get it. But this is just a statement to make sure that everything is in order. So our demographic overview is very interesting right now. We have 170,000 plus members. The ages range from a few areas. Our median income for the fraternity from all the brothers is 95,000, which I think is pretty good. And our membership reach is very good. We have 2,300 active undergraduate members and 24,000 active alumni members, and 277 active undergraduate chapters and 349 active alumni chapters, with most of our members being in the business professional profession. And we also have top executives and brothers in education and STEM fields as well. And with our education levels being, most of us have bachelor's degrees and so forth. Our core values are still the same: integrity, respect, transparency, information sharing, benefits, dialogue, courage, and candor, and to protect intake candidates, brothers, and the fraternity. Our programs are also still the same: Guide Right, undergraduate risk management, St. Jude's Hospital, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, our mental health initiatives, Learn to Live, our financial literacy, military and veterans affairs, youth literacy, Room to Read, where we've had over 32,000 books distributed January and February, and March of Dimes collaboration as well. So some of the accomplishments that we've had throughout the pandemic have been wonderful. We've been maintaining the day-to-day operations of IHQ as we function and get through this pandemic. And so we've completed our strategic plan for the 2021 through 2025 year. We've put out quarterly financial statements, the 2021-2022 general liability insurance application, the emergency capital improvements, keeping IHQ functional. We have our virtual 85th Grand Chapter meeting and membership services responding within a 72-hour period while teleworking. And this is just a reminder that all chapters must file Form 990 in a timely manner. Failure to do so will result in the chapter or foundation losing its tax-exempt status and having to pay taxes. So here it is, our 85th Grand Chapter meeting. We have now determined that it is best for us to host our wonderful meeting virtually, which will be scheduled for July 13th through the 18th of this year. And so we will not convene in Phoenix. I'm gonna say that we will not convene in Phoenix. So if you end up in Phoenix the 13th through the 18th, that is on you, good brothers. And instead, again, we'll be having this virtually, and the agenda will include business sessions, special events, and networking opportunities. The following information can be reviewed in the detailed Grand Board of Directors 2021 Province Council Report, and these materials can also be found in the Brothers Only section of the Grand Chapter website. Our membership due subscription program, as approved in February of this year, permits membership to enroll in an automatic payment plan. Annual dues can be paid through a subscription platform with a credit or debit card, and the system automatically calculates outstanding fees, and the payment schedule may be tailored by the participant. So whether you want to, do an annual or biannual, quarterly or monthly payment, those are some great options. And this will be administered through kappa.org using the credentials from kapalphapsi1911.com. This enrollment will begin on May 1st, so in a couple weeks, and the subscription payments received in the current year will be credited towards the upcoming fraternal fiscal year. Some of the undergraduate initiatives that we've been working on are hands-on books and a room to read. We have the Achievement Academy, which has been going wonderful. The Kappa League virtual college conversations, our mental health initiative, the undergraduate to alumni pipeline, and the graduation honors and benefits. This year, we will still be hosting League Kappa July 10th through the 18th. And it will be remote, synchronous, and asynchronous content, and the application is still open. So if there are any undergraduate brothers that still want to apply that haven't had a chance to apply yet, the application is still open. So make sure you take advantage of that. And some of the things that undergraduates will be taking away are resume prep, risk management, campus leadership, Title IX, social media, mental health and meditation, campus programming, life after college, entrepreneurship, and of course, Frat Friday. Kappa Camp 21 will also be virtual. Session 1 is the summer enrichment for ages 12 through 16. They'll be focusing on leadership development, college readiness, STEM, and fitness programs. Those dates will be June 20th through July 2nd, and the registration deadline for that is April 30th. So those dates again are June 20th through July 2nd, and then the second session for grades 10 through 12 will be SAT and ACT prep, essay writing, college scholarship tips, and those dates are July 26th through the 30th, and the registration deadline for that will be July 1st. The application is available at capalphasci1911.com. Now we have the Grand Keeper of Records and Exchequer report. So our executive summary, Kappa Alpha Psi remains on a solid financial foundation as it rides out the COVID-19 storm. The Grand Board has considered the consequences of COVID-19 and other events and conditions, and it has determined that they do not create a material uncertainty in Kappa's financial health during this fiscal year. However, the fraternity's financial outlook's most significant risk continues from escalating expenses associated with lawsuits, insurance claims, settlements, and deductible payments. The COVID-19 pandemic and measures taken by various governments to contain the virus have affected Kappa Alpha Psi's economic activity in multiple ways. We've had a loss of income due to pause of MTA. We've had reduced expenses, so we've avoided travel, lodging, and meeting expenses, disruptions in staff's ability to work in the office, and fixed costs continue at a level pace. So the salaries and benefits of IHQ staff are at a fixed cost. The fraternity's financial condition is relatively good based on the first quarter of the fiscal year. We've received 68% of the annual total income at the 24% fiscal year point, and total expenses are level primarily due to large insurance premium payments. Our net income surplus is $2.2 million for the 3-month period, and the MTA net income losses are approximately $900,000 based on the approved budget. The forensic audit is in progress. Anticipated completion and report date is May 2021. The 2017 annual audit, the draft was issued, and the 2018-2019 annual audits are in progress. New initiatives, we have 5 task force established by the Grand Keeper of Records and Exchequer to address issues, challenges, and opportunities. The 990 filings, the Grand Keeper of Records and Exchequer, the financial reporting standards and template, the unclaimed property collection, and social media policy, procedures, and protocol. And again, this is, we are right now currently in our province council. And so what a great year it has been. And so on behalf, again, on the 34th administration, we thank you for all the work that you continue to do. Thank you for continuing to achieve in every field of human endeavor, despite this global pandemic and dual pandemic. And please continue to be safe. Again, it is my honor and pleasure to be home virtually for the South Central Province. Thank you, good brothers.
Okay, if we could pull up the attendees so I can see, are there any questions on the report that was just submitted by Brother Weaver? I don't see any hands raised. With that being said, we will move forward. Before we do, Brother Weaver, if you are still with us, I want to say to you, my brother, we are extremely proud of you and all the work that you are doing. You represent not only the South Central Province, but the entire fraternity extremely well. God bless you, good brother. I can't wait till we see you again in person. Moving forward in our agenda. Next, we have the Kappa Foundation report. 2 brothers will be speaking with us today. First will be the Vice President of the Kappa Foundation, Brother Michael Atkinson. Immediately following him, and after we entertain any questions to his report, we will also have our Province Director, Brother Anthony Brightman. So Brother Brightman, be ready. You are on deck. And Brother Atkinson, if you can hear us. Are you ready,
Yes, I can
sir?
hear you.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
So we're pulling your report up. As soon as we're up, I yield the floor to you. All right. Brother Atkinson,
Okay,
you're up, sir.
thank you, Brother Woolridge. Let me start off and make a slight correction. I am not the vice president of the foundation. Currently, I am the secretary, the board secretary of the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation, which is similar to our keeper of records for the fraternity. I wouldn't want Brother Berryman to think that I was trying to usurp his authority by taking his position. But let me begin by saying thank you to the South Central Province and Paul Mark Clemens for allowing us to come before you and take part in your province council meeting to bring you information and update from the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation. So on behalf of the board of directors of the foundation, I want to thank the brothers of the South Central Province for supporting the foundation. Your support enables us to achieve our mission in serving and empowering youth and young men of color. Could you advance to the next slide, please? It's my pleasure to provide to you the update for the foundation activities for 2020 and also take a quick look at our goals and aspirations for 2021. So many times you probably have heard this year and then the end of last year about the challenges of 2020. But despite all that took place, the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation was able to stay on its mission. In January, we kicked off the largest capital campaign in the foundation's history. The energy and excitement that came from that drove us to expand our board of directors and aggressively pursue the accomplishments of our goals that we set for the year. But just like everything else, we were disrupted because of the pandemic, COVID-19 hitting us across the country in March, and then all the social unrest that transpired throughout the summer. We put the capital campaign on hold and asked and made a call out to the membership to join us in providing support to our undergraduates. And brothers, again, we thank you for answering that call swiftly and very boldly. We had some 500 brothers or members to support the Brothers for Brothers campaign that was initiated to provide financial grants to more than 850 of our undergraduate members. These grants assisted them with housing, food in some cases, educational costs, utilities, and other items as well. Your participation made this initiative a huge success. We especially want to thank Junior Grand Vice Paul Mark and our foundation board member, Brother Evan Jackson. He, along with other members, undergraduate members of his team, made this initiative a great success. Next slide, please. In addition to the undergraduate COVID relief fund, the foundation continued to support various other communities and activities in the communities that we serve. In a variety of ways, we awarded more than $68,000 in scholarship to young men and women for their collegiate endeavors, and more than $31,000 in community grants. as a part of the eye care disaster relief, we assisted those that were impacted by Hurricane Laura and Lake Charles. We also completed the foundation's financial commitment to the Smithsonian National Museum of African and American History. Next slide, please. Now, taking a look at the full financial picture for 2020, if you focus on our total revenues, we were up by 446,000 versus our plan. And that was mainly driven by the COVID relief Brothers for Brothers campaign that was initiated, as well as capital campaign contributions. Our gross profits was up 595,000. And this was again through the strong operational expense management. A lot of things that we were not able to do because of the COVID environment. This was not bad for a pandemic year. If you look at our asset management or our funds balance, we continue to have strong fund balance growth. This has averaged, I think, roughly 25% year on year over the last few years. We were at $4.8 million under our management versus the previous year of 3.6 million. And our contribution growth, again, it was a strong contribution during the pandemic year, which total our total COVID relief contributions of 418,000. This was done through the contribution of the fraternity administration, as well as the contributions from the 500 brothers, over 500 brothers that I mentioned, for a total of $222,000. We also had $100,000 that was contributed by the Senior Kappa Affairs and Endowment. The foundation contributed another 100,000, and our silhouettes wanted to participate as well, and they contributed 10,000 to the effort. We had pass-through contributions for the Smithsonian of 139,000, and our Senior Kappa Affairs contributions was at 323,000. Quick look at our audit status that is there on the slide. We have completed our 2017 and 2018 audits. We're on track for by the end of the second quarter of this year to also have completed our 2019 and our 2020 audits. A note to make that we have achieved through GuideStar their gold seal of transparency for nonprofit organizations. So through our efforts of auditing, we have achieved that, and we are proud of that status. Next slide, please. Taking a quick look at 2021, what we've budgeted, our revenue growth, including a strong contribution for our capital campaign and the celebration of achievement that I'll speak to a little more in just a minute. But we're looking at a total fundraising contributions of over 900,000. Now this will be a slight decline from 2020, but we don't anticipate doing another Brothers for Brothers campaign in 2021. We're showing a strong gross profit of 443,000. Again, that's down from last year because of expenses that we're not going to incur because of still partial COVID restrictions. But also we anticipate some incremental expenses because of the celebration of achievement event that will take place later. Also showing planned disbursements of scholarships for 2021 at 151,000. And then we're going to reduce our spending of 2020 due to, again, the COVID relief disbursement not taking place in 2021. Our asset funds, we intend to increase again, following that same growth rate for 2021, and we hope to be at 5.4 million at the end of the year. This year, we're going to refocus on our capital campaign with a goal of 500,000 in contributions. This will help us to continue to enhance our programs and establish new ways to connect with our youth as we safely transition back into from virtual events back into in-person programs. I want to thank everyone that participated in our oral history project that took place most of 2020. Please look forward for the release of that publication later this summer. And in addition, the first round of our Legacy Giving Medallions, that new program that was started for recognition of those that give, those medallions and certificates will be presented this year as well. This summer, I mentioned the celebration of achievement. It will be virtual. The date is Thursday, July 15th, during the conclave activities. Please stay tuned for additional information so you will know how to sign up and participate. We're looking to raise an additional 250,000 during that activity. As we work to continue and expand the reach of the foundation, we're anticipating this year to develop 8 new relationships with our corporations and foundations in order to support our different programs and initiatives. Next slide, please. Okay, at this time, I introduce your foundation programs province director, Brother Anthony Brightman Sr. Under the direction of foundation executive director, Mr. Anthony Stephanie, Brother Brightman's primary objective is to lead a team that works to achieve the objectives of the foundation at the province level. Brother Brightman.
Thank you, Brother Atkinson, and good morning, brothers. On behalf of the Kappa Foundation, I would like to thank the entire province for your support, which enables us to collectively increase our efforts to empower more young men of color. My goal as the Foundation Program's Province Director is to create and manage a team to assist the Foundation's efforts. Those efforts include benchmarking the levels of philanthropic engagement, reporting the successes of the province, providing potential fundraising contacts for corporate and Foundation donors, and promoting the Foundation's various scholarship opportunities to eligible young men and women throughout the province. In addition, I and the team will be resources for you and an extension of the Foundation. If you have a question about a Foundation program or event or service, if you wish to join my team, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I am ready and willing to serve you and the South Central Province. Next slide. With that, let us start the support of the Foundation for 2021. On behalf of the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation, I am excited to inform you that the annual Hillary H. Holloway Scholarships will again be awarded in each province. These scholarships are being announced at each province council meeting, honoring the 22nd Grand Polemarch, who was an original Foundation board member. The Holloway Scholarship recipients for the South Central Province will be announced later today at the Undergraduate Achievement Program. Congratulations to our recipients. Again, thank you, brothers. And at this time, I'll turn it back over to Brother Atkinson.
Thank you, Brother Brightman. Your 2021 is going to mark the 40th anniversary of the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation. The foundation has grown significantly through the support of the fraternity, our donors, and the leadership of capable corporate professionals who have served on the foundation of board of directors through the years. As I mentioned earlier, we expanded the board in 2020 with the addition of directors Gail Johnson, Sherman Kizard, and Adrian Trimble. This is now one of the most diverse boards in the history of the foundation. And every member of the board is committed to giving their time, the resources and talent to achieve the vision that we have set at the foundation to build a new way forward for our youth. Next slide, please. Brothers, to truly make the foundation successful, we need you. It is through your support that we have been able to help our communities in many ways throughout the pandemic and throughout the past years. Your generous support of the Oral History Project, the Brothers for Brothers campaign, and the recent J5 Capathon allowed us and will continue to allow us to support undergraduates who were impacted by COVID and other environmental situations, provide grants to partners with the community organizations to assist students in continuing their education, and financial relief in those communities that are often hit by natural disasters. Your continued support of the Capital Campaign and this summer's celebration of achievement will make this 40th year the best year for the foundation. We truly solicit your support. This will be a historic year for us in more ways than one. We look forward to keeping you informed of our successes as we move to achieve our goals. So please sign up for the foundation newsletter at thekappafoundation.org. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're on all of those platforms. Thank you again, brothers of the South Central Province, for your support to the foundation. We look forward to another great year. Thank you, Brother Woolridge. I yield back.
All right, Brother Atkinson, thank you. And Brother Brightman, thank you as well for an outstanding report. Before we open it up for questions from, excuse me, from the members, Brother Atkinson, again, my apologies for that sudden promotion you experienced this morning. That's 100% on me, good brother. Again, I see you and Brother Berryman, you're directly underneath him. I wrote the wrong title down. So again, my apologies, good brother. That is 100% on me. So brothers, at this time, are there any questions for the Kappa Foundation report? All right, brothers. All right. Well, seeing as there are none, we will move forward in our agenda.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you, sir. Brothers, at this time, it will not reflect those who have received the agenda in the mail. It may not reflect on yours, but we do have a presentation on the strategic plan from our Director of Organizational Effectiveness, Brother Jimmy McMichael. And immediately after that, I will stand up and I will introduce our province poll mark for the State of the Province address. So at this time, Brother McMichael, are you with us and ready?
I am with you. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, Brother McMichael. We're going to get your presentation up.
Okay.
All right. Brother McMichael, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you and good morning, brothers. It's an exciting day. Excited to be with you, brothers of the South Central Province. Let me first start off by just saying congratulations on hosting what I know is going to be a successful province council. meeting. So what you see before you is a presentation and a few slides. I'd just like to give you an overview of the 5-year strategic plan that's going to serve as a blueprint to guide the fraternity over the next 5 years. So in January, every member of this fraternity for which IHQ has a current email address received an email from IHQ with a video providing a general overview of the 2021 through 2025 strategic plan that was approved by the Grand Board of Directors for our fraternity. So in only a few short minutes, I'm going to highlight the major points. So as we go back to the previous slide, what you see here is the 5-step strategic planning process, which includes the first 3 steps that we follow to complete the strategic plan, and the final 2 steps, which are soon to be taken. So step 1 was the stage, the information gathering, assessment, analysis stage, where we gathered all the information that we needed to consider in putting the plan together, including information from the SWOT analysis and the membership survey, in which the entire membership had a chance to have their voice heard in the planning of the fraternity's future. So as we go to the next slide, it shows the timeline from the date that the charge was given to me by the Grand Polemarch to develop a strategic plan in September of 2019, immediately following the Grand Chapter meeting, to the time it was approved by the Grand Board of Directors in 2020, and then how we're going to proceed going forward with steps 3 through 5 from now until December of 2025. So as we go to the next slide, these just give you a pretty good visual of how we kick things off. So this is a visual of the 34th Administration's Executive Retreat, which was held right after the 84th Grand Chapter meeting in Philadelphia. And at this meeting, we jumped feet first into the planning pool with 2 full days of strategy sessions, breakout sessions, and development workshops. This included the entire national and provincial leadership of Kappa Alpha Psi, which included the councils of past Grand Polemarchs, the Grand Board of Directors, Council of Province Polemarchs, Senior Province Vice Polemarchs, Junior Province Vice Polemarchs, and all of the National Committee Chairmen, and a few invited guests. And so the photos on this slide are from day 1. The next slide highlights day 2, which was a day committed to doing the SWOT analysis. And we spent the entire day evaluating the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that face our fraternity. From that day, we gathered approximately 12 pages of data. We grouped all of that data into what would eventually become the 8 focus areas on which the plan was constructed, which you'll see illustrated on the next slide. And so those areas right there highlight the 8 areas of the strategic plan. So brand management, finances, guide right, infrastructure and operations, membership services, organizational culture, training for leadership, and undergraduate growth and development. So that is the structure of our plan. With this slide and the slide after, what you'll see is that in each category, we created an overall goal. And that goal are expressed in this slide and in the next slide. And under each area that we have, there's not only an overriding goal, but there's a set of strategies to accomplish the goals that we have set forth in each one of those focus areas. So as we continue on, what's next is implementation. Brothers, we know that a good plan doesn't mean anything if it's not properly implemented. So as you look at the bullet points on this slide here, it'll give you an idea of what we are looking to do. We're going to assemble a 12-person implementation team. Very soon, immediately after the council season, you're going to get an email from IHQ, which is going to contain a couple of things. The first will be an actual link to review the strategic plan as it is written. The second is going to be an appeal to those of you who'd like to participate in the implementation team. So if you have any subject matter expertise in terms of strategic planning, or any subject matter expertise in any one of the 8 focus areas of the plan, we're going to ask that you submit your name if you're interested in participating on that implementation team, that you submit your name, you indicate your areas of expertise, whether it's overall strategic planning experience or whether it's expertise in a specific area as listed. We're going to ask that you upload your resume and the link that's going to be sent to you. We are then going to take a look at all of our people who have submitted and expressed interest. We're going to select that implementation team, and we will communicate to the membership, and that is going to be the team that is going to drive the implementation process. There'll be a lead for each of the focus areas. There'll be a chair, a vice chair, and a few other folks that are on that administrative side of things. This committee is going to be able to kind of lead and monitor the plan's implementation progress. They're going to develop that strategy that evaluates success, and they'll be giving regular updates to the Grand Board of Directors. And so, my brothers, that is the strategic plan. As we continue on, I think there's one more slide. There we go. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time. If there are not any questions at this time and any come to you later, I am reachable, my brothers. You can reach out to me with any questions, and I'll absolutely answer your questions as they come, when they come. I'm pretty responsive. So by email, phones, text, my information is in the journal, and you'll have access to ask anything that you need to. To close out, Brother Province Polmark, Brother Senior Province Vice Polmark, I would also just like to share news for those who are unaware that on February 4th, 2021, I announced my candidacy for the office of Senior Grand Vice Polmark. And it is my hope that I can earn your votes at this summer's Grand Chapter meeting to lead going forward in that role. And just very quickly, for those who are not familiar with me, I'm a spring 1991 initiate of the Alpha Chapter at Indiana University. I've been blessed to lead this fraternity with measurable accomplishment in every role that you've entrusted me. And I think that's important to understand, because you should have measurable accomplishment in your history of leadership. And I believe that when you elect someone to a leadership position, they have to raise the bar of expectation during the time that they hold that office, or they missed the mark on the opportunity that they've been given. So my life in Kappa Brothers has been an open book. I've held every leadership position in an alumni chapter. I've served as a 26th Northeastern Province Polmark. I served on the Grand Board of Directors for the past 2 years as National Director for Organizational Effectiveness, where Grand Polmark Shelton tasked me with developing the strategic plan that I just shared with you. I also chair the fraternity's Learn to Live policing initiative, which has held over 120 forums over the past 5 years in 100 cities, training over 60,000 kids about interactions with the police. I also chair the COVID-19 task force. My brother's 2 constitutional job requirements come with the Office of Senior Grand. The first is to chair the councils, Council of Senior Province Vice Polmarks, Council of Province Polmarks. And the final one is to assist the Grand Polmark in whatever manner or capacity that he deems necessary. So one of those manners will be to oversee this implementation project. And so if there's any question about where or how I'm interested in leading this fraternity, it'll be in accordance with the strategic plan. So my campaign will be guided by the slogan "Performance over Politics," which ties into my personal and professional understanding that organizations improve and thrive when we put forth the best leaders with a demonstrated history of raising the bar of operational and organizational excellence. So if you've ever followed my leadership journey, I've always shared that my personal leadership philosophy is character, competence, and commitment. And so time is short, I know. So thank you, Brother Province Polmark, Brother Senior Province Vice Polmark, for this opportunity. If there are any questions about me or my campaign, please visit jimmyforsenior.com to learn more about me or get access to all of my contact information. So, Brother
Michael, I thank you for joining us on this morning. I appreciate you outlining the strategic plan. We've had those conversations, and I'm really excited about the direction that our fraternity is going in with the leadership of our Grand Polmark and with the strategic plan that your team has put in place. I'm also a supporter for you running for Senior Grand Vice Polmark. I've made that known already, and I wholeheartedly endorse you. And I know that the brothers of the South Central Province will support you as well. So we give you best wishes in that endeavor, and we look forward to the implementation of the strategic plan.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Brothers, do we have any questions? Please raise your hand if you have any questions for for Brother McMichael. There being none. Thank you, Brother McMichael. We really appreciate you taking time, and hopefully we will see you soon as we come out of this pandemic. God bless, brother.
Thank you, my brothers.
Brothers, I believe that we have our grand poll, our 33rd grand poll mark that has stopped by. Let's give him the floor and allow him to speak to the brothers. So if we can find Brother Battles. Is he on here? Do you see him on there? Oh, we don't see him on there. He may have dropped off. So Brother Battles, if I don't know, maybe you may be on the live stream. I'm not sure on YouTube, but nonetheless, we're appreciative of your leadership. And if you're able to get on to our Zoom, we will be sure to set some time aside for you. We thank you, good brother. Brother Woolrich, you have the floor.
All right, brothers, next will be the State of the Province report. And during the time I have served as your senior province vice polemarch, it has always been one of the highlights during Province Council weekend for me to have the opportunity to introduce our province polemarch. His leadership from his undergraduate days to this very day has embodied the essence of Kappa Alpha Psi, and that is training for leadership. Professionally, Brother Clemens is a higher education professional and leadership development consultant. He has his Master's of Science in Education in Adult and Higher Education from Northern Illinois University. Furthermore, he is in the process of earning his doctorate. This is truly a man of achievement. He is a member of many professional organizations and leads with his faith in Jesus Christ as a guiding principle in his leadership style, which is servant leadership. It has been said, brothers, that people are streams of water flowing into the same river towards whatever heaven has waiting for us in the mist beyond the falls. The brothers of the South Central Province and Kappa Alpha Psi as a whole are blessed and grateful that the path of his stream has intersected with ours. Brothers all, please join me in welcoming this man of education, leadership, and faith, the 24th South Central Province polemarch, Brother Leonard E. Clemens.
Brothers all. Brothers, I am very humbled at this time to continue to serve as your 24th Province polemarch. Very humbled to serve with and under the leadership of our 34th Grand Polemarch, Brother Reuben A. Shelton III, Esquire, a truly exemplary leader. I want to acknowledge a few people at the onset of the state of our province. The first of those is the brother whom immediately spoke before me, and that is our senior province vice polemarch. I don't know of a different need or caliber of talent, character, performance, integrity that could serve as our senior province vice polemarch in this moment in time, in the time and frame that he has served as senior province vice polemarch. Brother Woolrich has done and continues to do a yeoman's job, outstanding, exceeding all expectations, and on a consistent basis. And so I am so grateful for Brother Woolrich and his service to our province. I'm grateful for him as a close friend, and I'm grateful for him for all that he does for our province. He's a leader in the city of Louisville, a family man, and just a all-around stand-up illustration of what it means to be a true man of Kappa Alpha Psi. Let us recognize our senior Province Vice Pole Mark, Brother Don Woolridge Sr. We have our leadership team here. Brother LeVar Brown, keeping us right and tight with the records. Our keeper of exchequer, Brother McMichael, who is doing a great job bringing his expertise from banking over into our province, managing our exchequer in a great way. Thank you, brother. And our junior province vice pole Mark, who will be graduating and moving on to bigger and better things. But I know that this will not be the last time that we hear of Brother Jeremiah Elston, who has done a great job serving 2 years as our junior province vice pole Mark and has led our undergraduates in a very transformative way. And so I'm so appreciative of him, and I look forward to his continued journey. And we'll hear from him later because he is the keynote speaker of our student achievement program. To our planning team, Brother Andre Douglas, Brother Tony Smith, Brother Solomon Per Year, Brother Jerome Cephas, our director of MTA, Brother Rodney Broom, achievement chairman, all of our board members, our chief of staff and deputy chief of staff, Brother Dumaka Shabazz and Brother Brennan McMurray. All of those brothers do an absolute great job, which makes the time period of my service as your province pole Mark much easier. They just execute. And so I'm so appreciative of their work. I don't want to dial in any longer. We have a full agenda, but I do want to give you the state of our province. Progression is something that we have outlined as a mantra and pillar of the South Central Province. And progression certainly is something that we have been embarking on, and progress certainly as something that we have achieved. At the onset of this administration in 2016, our total financial assets were a little bit over $110,000. Now that stands at almost $250,000. We have doubled it, plus some, and that is due to the financial prowess of our current keeper of exchequer, who is also our immediate past budget chairman, and our immediate past province keeper of exchequer, Brother Will Dillard. Those brothers have taken care of our books like none other before, transparent and down to the red cent and to the dime. And so I'm just so appreciative of the progress that we have made financially, where we are strong, we are financially well, we are financially healthy, we are financially fit, and that allows us to enhance the quality experience that you have as a member, not only of the fraternity, but as a member within the South Central Province. Our chapter expansion has increased, as you hear me say all the time. When in 2016 we had 31 active chapters, now we had 45 active chapters, with approximately 14 chapter charters and reactivations all across our province. Our province remains healthy and continues to grow, and we still have some rocks to turn over within our province, some chapters that need the presence of Kappa, some campuses that need the presence of Kappa Alpha Psi on their campus to ensure that young men who are in the pursuit of achievement like us can join together in a bond of something as precious as Kappa Alpha Psi, something outside of athletics, something outside of the local club, but something like Kappa Alpha Psi that continues to push them to be the best that they absolutely can be. So that rock is unturned. We will continue to entertain and look at any local municipality where there are a group of brothers that think that they want to carry the mantle of Kappa Alpha Psi within that community and on whatever campus in which we think we could achieve that. One of the things that I'm really proud about, and it is due to our financial healthiness, is that we were able to complete our 5th payment to the Smithsonian African American Museum in excuse me, in Washington, D.C. And one of the things that we were able to achieve was our $50,000 pledge. And over the last 5 years, we contributed $10,000 each year. And we were able to do it because we were financially strong. So I thank you to all of the brothers of every chapter who continue to support Kappa Alpha Psi locally and at your province level so that we can make those type of commitments to make an impact nationally. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that this past year was tough for everybody. There were 3 crises going on at one time. We had a health epidemic. We had a racial and cultural crossing of the roads again. And then we had an economic downturn. And at every step of the way, we had frontline workers, whether they were members of Kappa Alpha Psi or not, in the health field, in the hospitality field, our teachers in the education field, those that were working in service jobs in the restaurants, in public transportation, still on the front lines, and some of them lost their lives. Also, that we can continue to live a healthy life. We're on the downturn of this pandemic, but we all have to play our part. Roll up your sleeve and get the vaccine. All silliness aside, roll up your sleeve and get the vaccine. We cannot completely turn our economy around until we wrap up and get out of this health pandemic. We as men of Kappa Alpha Psi, achievers and leaders in our community, must play our part. Roll up your sleeves, brothers, and get the vaccine. It is absolutely important, not only for your neighbors, but for your family and for you. I am mindful of brothers like Christopher Ramsey, who went home to home as a healthcare worker in the field of health insurance to ensure that others had the ability to be insured, to ensure that others had access to healthcare. And so much that he contracted COVID in the process of it. And he risked his life so that others may have access to health so that they can move forward. Roll up your sleeves and get the vaccine. Life is too short and too precious for us to play into myths, play into demography, and play into anything that will hurt and stifle our pursuit of achievement. And so I'll say it one last time. Roll up your sleeves and get the vaccine. Make sure that we are in the game. We are all aware about the racial disparity that takes place in the killing of Black men. There's a trial going on right now regarding the death of George Floyd. As tragic as it is to see it on TV, I don't have the privilege of having a son, but I know men in this room right now with me and those watching that you have young women and young men as your sons and daughters, and you're worried about them when they're going out without you. So have those conversations with them about being safe, about being aware, doing as much as they possibly can to avoid sticky situations. And that in no fashion means that it is negating the disparity and racial disparity that's taking place with some of the interactions of African Americans. But let's make sure that we are having the talk with our young people. Let's have the talk and sit down with your sons and daughters and say, hey, be careful when you're going out here. And while we're doing that, we're going to continue to fight the good fight. As John Lewis say, we will continue to get into good trouble. We will continue the marches. We will continue the protests until every person, regardless of your likeness or your image, can walk on this earth with the same privileges and the same equality. Kappa Alpha Psi, and within this province, we are to be at the forefront of that fight. And then our economic recovery. We had some workshops on yesterday. And one of the workshops was around crafting your credit score. And the reason we did that is because someone told me a long time ago, Brother Woolrich, that you have to take care of your finances. And if you want to know where someone's priorities are, then look at their budget. Take a pool of their transactions over the last month, and that lets you know where your priorities are. Take care of your finances, brother. See, being healthy is more than just being physically fit. You have to be spiritually in the right place mentally, but you also financially need to be healthy. The love of money is the root of all evil. But do not forget that the Bible also said that money alloweth things. But it is the love of money that is the root of all evil. But money alloweth things. Make sure that you are financially fit. Make sure that you are doing your best on your job. Make sure that you're trying to excel. Make sure that you're doubling down on whatever educations and degrees and certifications that you need. Take all those workshops on financial awareness, on 401ks, IRAs. Do all of that to make sure that you are financially fit. And last but not least, if you don't have a life insurance policy, get one. If there's somebody in your home right now that does not have a life insurance policy, get one. There are many families that go bankrupt by way of death of someone else and not being able to financially take care of their arrangements without going into debt. Do not leave your families in debt due to irresponsibility. Get a life insurance policy. That is part of financial wellness and being financially smart and astute. So how are we going to do all this? Well, we're going to follow the blueprint that Brother McMichael has laid forth already at the direction of our Grand Polemarch. We have a strategic plan for Grand Chapter, and that strategic plan will be implemented across this fraternity. And our province is well positioned with our expansion of chapters, with our financial healthiness, to make sure that we're implementing the strategic plan of Kappa Alpha Psi on a province and local level. So over the next few months, as that continues to ramp up and roll out, ensure that you're speaking about the 5-year strategic plan of Kappa Alpha Psi in your chapter meetings. Everything that we do will be aligned with the strategic plan of Kappa Alpha Psi. I always say, and you hear me say that no member is greater than any chapter. No chapter is greater than any province, and no province certainly is greater than the Grand Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. And to do that, we must all be headed in the right direction. We are going to implement the strategic plan of Kappa Alpha Psi at a province level all the way down to the local level to ensure the success of us locally on our college campuses as a province and nationally and globally as Kappa Alpha Psi. To achieve this, brothers, we must not forget that at the heart of who we are and what we do is brotherhood. We must remain brotherly. The mature Kappa man understands that, yes, we will disagree sometimes. We can have conflict, but without chaos. We can have disagreement without disparagements. We can have a difference of opinion without thrashing like discontentment behavior. Be brotherly. And if we are all Christian men, then that should be easy to do. See, if you look at the principles of who we are as individuals, even if you have a hard time being brotherly at times of disagreement, that's the time in which you lean on your faith. That's the time when you lean on your conviction of who we are as Christian, as men, as role models, as husbands and fathers and grandfathers and uncles. Be brotherly in everything that we do. We must understand that at the very core of who we are is brotherhood. That we cannot achieve any of this if we are not brotherly to each other. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. If there's an election contested, one brother wins, one brother loses, you still walk out of there in a bond of fellowship, in a bond of brotherhood without discontentment. And the losing brother will still support that brother who wins. That's brotherhood. What's another example? We may disagree about something in a chapter meeting. Well, when the chapter votes, we all know that the mature Kappa man understands that he will sacrifice that individual opinion for the betterment of the common good of the whole, respecting the decision of the chapter and rolling out of that meeting as one unit. That's what brotherhood means, that we looked out for each other, regardless of our discontentment or disagreement. We looked out for each other and we support each other. And we're not trying to cut each other under our legs. Be brotherly in all that we do. As we move forward, going into the next years, going into conclave and heading into 2023 in Tampa, we have to understand that we are on a no excuses tour. Get the job done. Be administratively sound. Everything you do ought to be the best. It ought to show an effort. It ought to show just a little bit of oomph, just a little bit of extra energy, just a little bit of that spark that each of us have within us as men of Kappa Alpha Psi. Ensuring that on campus we're academically achieving. And academically, we are scholars across our campus. Ensuring that we're making an impact within our community. And ensuring that we uphold the ideals of performance over politics. Let us not confuse tenure with performance. Make sure that you're giving brothers an opportunity to serve within your chapter. Brothers that are showing up, that they're dedicated, regardless of their age, regardless of how long they've been there. Give brothers an opportunity to serve and allow them to serve. And I promise you that the best of what we have of Kappa Alpha Psi is still yet to come. We are the best. We are the brightest as members of Kappa Alpha Psi across this world. We are achievers. Everything that we do ought to have a yeoman's work mindset. Everything we do ought to be seen as if it's going to be broadcast across the world. That means showing up at work 15 minutes early. That means before that email goes out, taking that extra time to check for typos. That means spending that extra time with your son or your daughter. That means going the extra mile in the workplace. That means showing up and showing out for Kappa Alpha Psi in your chapter meetings. Everything we do ought to be the best and representative of who we are as members of Kappa Alpha Psi. So I say that to say this. The state of our province is good. We're financially healthy. We continue to grow. We continue to support the Grand Polemarch in his implementation of the strategic plan. We must be brotherly in all that we do, and we must absolutely give our best. That is the state of our province, brothers. That is our pathway forward. I say yo to you, God bless, and let's continue to be achievers of Phi Nu Pi. God bless and thank you all.
Brother Polemarch, as always, outstanding. In the time that I have had the privilege to serve, not only with, but under Brother Clemens as our province Polemarch, this brother has yet to disappoint me. I think I speak on behalf of all the members of the leadership team present and all the brothers in our mighty province, how proud we are of you, Brother Polemarch, and the job you've done with regards to leading us. All right, outstanding. Brothers, are there any questions if I could have the menu brought up? All right. All right, very good. Brothers, all as there are none, we will move forward in our agenda. Okay. All right. So moving forward in our agenda, we are now at province committee reports. Before we go into the reports, first, some announcements to make with regards to adjustments. Number one, time and place, as well as achievement. Those reports were presented yesterday. So that will be a change with regards to the order of our program. Next, some additions with regards to committee reports. One, a Kentucky license plate campaign. That will be the lead off. And then also chapter advisors. Chapter advisors will be reported today. So in our order for today, first, the Kappa license plate campaign. Next will be the March of Dimes initiative. After that, chapter advisors. Then we will have resolutions. And lastly, we will close this section of our agenda today with election updates. Okay, and then one last point before we jump into the committee presentations. Brothers, be mindful of your time. When it is your turn, you will be up on deck. I will entertain any questions, and then we'll move right into the next agenda presentation. You have 2 to 3 minutes max for your presentations. First will be the Kentucky license plate campaign. All right. Okay, move forward. Okay, so brothers, just at a very high level, the chapters in the state of Kentucky have banded together with a small committee of brothers centralized in the Louisville alumni chapter. And we have initiated a campaign for a Kentucky license plate. As you see on this illustration that should be on your screens in front of you, this is what the license plate will look like. If I could, next slide. Now, before I go into what we're trying to accomplish, at the very bottom, these are the committee chairs, for the Kentucky license plate campaign. Brother Rick Watkins, he is a member of Louisville alumni, and Brother Sean Pleasant, he is a member of Louisville alumni as well. There is their contact information. Brothers, please write these numbers down. For Brother Rick Watkins, it is 502-377-0988. And for Brother Sean Pleasant, it is 502-338-3955. Now, these two brothers, again, Brother Watkins is the chair, Brother Pleasant is the vice chair. In contacting them, they will share with you the following. This is an opportunity, okay, to complete the establishment of the Kappa Alpha Psi Kentucky license plate within the state of Kentucky, celebrating 2 of our founding fathers and 110 years of the fraternity's existence. Okay, there was an application submitted to the Kentucky Transportation Commission with our plate design on September 17th of last year. The Kentucky Transportation Commission approved the application. Plate design was submitted as submitted. To date, brothers, we have raised over $7,600 towards our $12,000 goal. What we are asking brothers at large within the province to do is this. Outside of the state of Kentucky, when you go to the link at the very bottom, okay, on your screen, when you go to that link at the very bottom on your screen, it will show you certain tiers with regards to donation amounts. We are asking that brothers outside of the state of Kentucky, at bare minimum, brothers, $19.11. I think all brothers under the sound of my voice can contribute that much. Now, we're not going to limit you at $19.11. If you feel so inclined to give the maximum of $250, we won't turn that away either. So we encourage all brothers to please participate and help those brothers within the great state of Kentucky to accomplish this goal so that we can get a license plate. And I believe that will complete us, if I'm not mistaken. I know the great state of Mississippi and Tennessee have Kappa license plates. So Kentucky, we need to get on board. Now, if the birthplace of Elder Watson Diggs can't have a license plate, something's wrong. So we need to have a Kappa license plate, brothers, and we're asking all those, again, to help us accomplish this. Please reach out, once again, to Brother Rick Watkins and Brother Sean Pleasant. They can guide you through, or you can go directly to the link at the bottom, memberplanet.com/campaign/KY Kappa plate /1911. All right. All right, brothers, we move forward at this time. Any questions with regards to the Kentucky license plate campaign. All right. No questions. Very good. So, brothers, at this time, we will have Brother Anthony Smith. He is here present, and he will speak on the March of Dimes initiative. Brother Smith.
Thank you, Brother Vice Pro Mark Woolridge, and greetings and good morning, brothers. We are here to talk about the latest initiative of our grand chapter. It is called a Kappa Alpha Psi Promise, and it is affiliated with the March of Dimes. So we're not going to belabor, we're going to move right into the video, please.
Hello and welcome members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated to an overview of the March of Dimes and our partnership together for healthy moms and strong babies. Our mission at the March of Dimes is to lead the fight for the health of all moms and babies. Our vision is that we imagine a world where every mom and baby is healthy, regardless of wealth, race, or geography. Moms and babies are facing an urgent health crisis. 1 in 7 women are treated for depression sometime between the year before or after pregnancy. Premature birth and its complications are the largest contributors to infant death. Women of color are up to 50% more likely to give birth prematurely. And the U.S. has one of the worst rates of maternal death in the developed world. And African American women, sadly, are more significantly to die from maternal death. Moms and babies need a champion. March of Dimes fights for the health of all moms and babies. We're advocating for policies to protect them. We're working to radically improve the health care they receive. We're pioneering research to find solutions. We're empowering families with programs, knowledge, and tools to have healthier pregnancies. By uniting communities, we're building a brighter future for us all. For over 80 years, founded by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1938, the March of Dimes has been advocating for moms and babies. Today, we're addressing health equity in the fight for healthy moms and strong babies. A Kappa's Promise is a commitment to the brotherhood to address mental health, fatherhood, and stronger families. A Kappa's Promise key components are mental health education, engagement and volunteerism, and fundraising. Together, we can make a difference. March for Babies is so much more than a fundraising walk. It's also a time to honor motherhood, babies, and families, bring together thousands of others to create change and share experiences, give hope by helping every mom and baby get the best possible start, and raise critical funds to support families. There are 4 simple steps to get involved. You can register at marchforbabies.org/Kappa Alpha Psi. Please spread the word and encourage 10 team members to join you. Make a personal donation to start your fundraising and ask others to donate. At marchforbabies.org, you'll find email templates, Facebook fundraising links, and other tools to help you fundraise. March with us. Join us to walk and help in making the health of moms and babies a priority. When you sign up and raise $25, you will receive the official March for Babies magnet. When you raise $100, you will receive the official March for Babies t-shirt, delivered both directly to your home address. There are fundraising tools, social media memes, apps, and toolkits, all for you at marchforbabies.org/Kappa Alpha Psi. Volunteer. Volunteer. Volunteers drive our work to empower families. With help from people like you, we're making an impact through education, research, and advocacy. But there is still work to do. Join us to mobilize your network and volunteer today at getinvolved.marchofdimes.org. Become an advocate. March of Dimes advocates for the health of all moms and babies. This year, we are focused on the following priorities: increasing access to quality health care, supporting healthy women and babies, improving research and surveillance, and protecting moms and babies during the COVID-19 public health emergency. To become an advocate, join our advocacy network at marchofdimes.org/advocacy/Action Center. Thank you to the members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. With your help, over 4 million babies received life-saving newborn screening. Over 19 million women were reached through our programs, education, and resources. Over 150 state legislative bills were passed to advocate for the health of moms and babies, and over 2,000 moms-to-be were served through our mobile health units to give healthcare access to uninsured families. Thank you, Kappa Alpha Psi, for your continued partnership with the March of Dimes. We appreciate all of your support and look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you, Kappa Alpha Psi.
All right. Thank you, brothers. If we could bring up the presentation. But yes, brothers, this is our latest Grand Chapter initiative. It is a partnership with the March of Dimes. As you can see, it is called A Kappa's Promise. And it does recognize the need to support healthy mothers and children. And Kappa Alpha Psi has partnered with the March of Dimes in order to provide education and the importance that fathers and men create positive families and healthier communities. Why is health equity? Data does show that the United States remains among the most dangerous developed nations in the world for childbirth. It is shocking to see that over 700 women die each year from pregnancy-related causes, and that Black women are 3 times more likely than white women to die from pregnancy-related causes nationwide. So why did Kappa choose this initiative? Similar to our work with the Sunday of Hope and in congruence with our mission, Kappa is dedicated to helping those less fortunate and those through no fault of their own find themselves in uncompromising positions. I must stress that this does not replace our St. Jude Sunday of Hope initiative. It runs concurrent with that. Now, will there be a fundraising component? As you know, we will certainly be doing that. Kappa has set a goal to raise $100,000 through the March for Babies initiatives to support the March of Dimes. Our funds will go to support research and efforts to eliminate health equity disparities throughout the country. Now, you may ask, how can we help this effort? Kappa is asking our chapters, alumni, and undergraduate to register teams and fundraise locally. We want to gear up that old Kappa spirit, some friendly chapter rivalries, put our teams together, and let's raise some money to help the March of Dimes and the March of Babies initiatives. Now, do we have any deadlines? Yes, we do. Kappa Alpha Psi is looking to complete this process by June the 30th. And we're going to be aggressive in moving forward to achieve our monetary goals by June the 30th. So there are going to be ways to participate. And what as the South Central Province Coordinator, I will be reaching out to poll marks and chapter advisors all across the province. We're not going to do a Q&A today. This is more of a high-level introduction to this new Grand Chapter initiative, but stay tuned. There will be more information to come. So I would like to ask now that all poll marks, chapter advisors, start identifying the brothers that are going to be the point persons for your chapters. As I reach out to you in leadership, of course, you will forward that information to me, and we will begin this initiative in earnest. So at this time, brothers, again, my name is Anthony Smith. I thank the Province Poll Mark for appointing me as the South Central Province March of Dimes Coordinator. Could you put up the slide one more time? Go to the last slide, please. Brothers, please write down my email address. Take me off a block if you got me. So you will be receiving something from Anthony Smith 65@gmail.com. So look for something in your inbox, Brother Poll Marks and chapter advisors, as we're going to hit the ground running pretty quickly to facilitate this initiative for the Grand Chapter. At this time, that concludes my report on the March of Dimes initiative. Thank you, Brother Vice Poll. Well, I would hope that we would keep questions to a minimum, but I will open up the floor if there are any brief questions. At this time, we're just doing a kind of a rollout, so hopefully we can keep the questions to a minimum and more information and FAQs will be submitted. All right, thank you, brothers.
All right. Brother Smith, as always, outstanding job. Thank you, Nuke. Moving forward, we will now have Chapter Advisors Report. Brother John K. Brother K. Brother K, give.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Brother K, I yield the floor to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Protocol having been established, as a member of the National Advisors Training Cluster, representing the South Central Province, and on behalf of the South Central Province's undergraduate chapters, good morning, brothers. As always, it is an honor to present at our annual Province Council meeting. Equally, it is my sincere prayer that you and your families have been safe, healthy during this unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. In case you were not aware, the South Central Province has some of the most outstanding, intelligent, and knowledgeable undergraduate advisors in Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity and beyond. As advisors representing our province, alumni chapters, and undergraduate chapters, I'm asking the alumni chapter poll marks and brothers in general to please take the opportunity to express your sincere appreciation for a job well done. Kudos to the undergraduate chapter advisors. First slide, please. The past 2 years for the undergraduate advisors have been very informative and rewarding, but also challenging due to the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. Operating prior to this unprecedented pandemic, undergraduate chapters were actively involved in approved programs and activities. The advisors met every month on Thursdays and on Tuesday. In recognition of time, talent, and resources, the Grand Board of Directors presented primary advisors with an honorarium of $200 for each in appreciation for services rendered. The Grand Chapter National Advisor Committee launched 2 major initiatives. One, an online advisor certification webinar, which we are currently working on, and a number of changes will be made to it. 2, the submission of the National Undergraduate Advisor Report for fall 2019, which was designed to collect valuable information and statistics regarding undergraduate chapters. Next slide, please. These are some of the statistics that we gathered for the South Central Province. At the time that the report was made, we had roughly 18 chapters that actually submitted data. Of those chapters, we had 203 members, which was not bad. As you can see, when you look at the numbers in the various categories, 7 to 9, 10 to 20, etc., we do have a little work to do there. And we have done that, as Brother Paul Mark Clemens mentioned. We have increased those chapters. Chapters GPA ranges were anywhere between 1.75 and 3.26, with an average of a 2.75 based on 16 chapters. The financial stability for these chapters is very challenging. Many of them struggle with the fact of coming up with the $2,100 to pay their insurance, but they were able to do that. Only 3 chapters have $3,000 or higher dollars in their exchequer. Roughly 2 have between $2,000 and $3,000, and 10 between $100 and $658. So as you can see, many of these chapters would not have been able to pay their insurance if it had not been for the support of the alumni chapters. Next slide, please. Operating during this pandemic, the advisors and the undergraduate chapters adhered to the guidelines of applicable constituencies. They met via conference calls, Zoom, every Tuesday and Thursday of each month. And the undergraduate chapters participated in various activities, operating virtually by wearing masks, washing hands, and social distancing. Attended required college and university mandatory meetings, and participated in community service projects by use of PEP. Now, brothers, the analysis of chapter membership returning for fall 2021. I did a review from all of the chapters that we have. Next slide, please. And you can see these numbers here as it relates to where we were going into this year, spring 2021. And the numbers are staggering as it relates to ranging from anywhere to 0 to maybe 3.2 per chapter. The numbers graduating for summer and our May is roughly 85 students. And those at this point that will be returning in fall 21 is somewhere around 108. Next slide, please. Review of fall 2019 to spring 21. Advisors were fully operational, and all undergraduate chapters had primary advisors and advisors teams with at least 3 required members. Advisors were pleased to receive the $200 honorarium from the Grand Chapter Board of Directors. In spite of the increase in insurance, chapters were able to pay the $2,100 coverage, which was a major milestone for the South Central Province. As of fall 2019 semester, undergraduate chapters were functioning and operating at effective and efficient levels. The number of members enrolled August 2019 was 3 to 22 per chapter respectively, with a total of 203 members. The COVID-19 pandemic had a tremendous impact on MTA for summer 2020, fall 2020, as well as spring 21. Upcoming fall 2021 concerns. As of spring 2021, 24 chapters were active with 193 members. 85 will graduate in May and or August 21, and 108 are scheduled to return in the fall of 21. Membership training for fall 21 is still in a pending status for colleges and universities, and I'm sure that they are working on, a number of them are returning in the fall, but still working as to how we will operate. Undergraduate chapters' ability to play 21-22 insurance. I'm sure assistance may be needed for all chapters because of the fact that they haven't been able to raise any money due to the not having MTA. 5 chapters have 0 membership, 21%. 13 chapters have less than 7, 54%. 6 chapters have 7 or more, which is only 25%. Returning fall 21, membership will be down by 95 members, 53%. If membership training is approved and all chapters participating, we will be able to replace the 95 members and hopefully exceed our standard 200 or more undergraduate members as a constant for the chapter. Next slide, please. Finally, brothers, as you know, to operate and function, MTA is a major source of revenue for the Grand Chapter, Province, and undergraduate chapters. Consequently, if we are to function at the level for which we have grown accustomed to and increase undergraduate membership in all chapters, it is our hope that MTA will resume in fall 21 and continue in subsequent years. That being said, this is not the time for undergraduate chapters to play hardball. Young men who are interested in becoming members of our noble clan and meet and or exceed requirements must be given the opportunity to become captains. Likewise, as to legacies, it should not be up for discussion unless the young men don't meet requirements, has a probation status, and or other sanctions posed by the Office of Student Affairs and our Greek line. That's my report, brothers. May God's blessings continue to be upon you and your families. Are there any questions?
Good pull up. All right, thank you. All right. Brother Cade, from our screen, no hands are raised. So thank you for that outstanding report as always, brother.
You're welcome.
Brothers, moving forward, we will now have resolutions. Brother John Ford. Brother Ford.
Good morning, brother.
Check that your mic is not on mute. All right. Good morning, Brother Ford. I yield the floor to you.
All right. Good morning, brothers. Before I begin the presentation on the Resolutions Committee report, I would like to recognize and thank these committee members for working alongside me during the course of this year. Next screen, please. We have from Region 1, Brother Clay Smalley, Bowling Green alumni. Brother Kimron Gover, Edo Alpha. From Region 2, we have Brother Michael Lane Sr., Murfreesboro alumni. Brother Noah Dendrich from Muro. From Region 3, we have Brother Tal Stidden, Kappa Beta. From Region 4, we have Brother Durrell Peterson, South Haven alumni. And Brother Rodney Rose from Zeta Omicron, yours truly. Next slide, please. The Resolution Committee received a total of 5 proposed resolutions in support of 4 undergraduate brothers and 1 alumni brother. All 5 of the proposed resolutions were thoroughly reviewed by the committee. The names of the brothers' proposed resolutions by category and supporting chapters are as follows. Next, please. Supporting the Elder Watson Diggs Award for Brother Dr. John Cade, an Alpha Lambda initiate and member of the Nashville Alumni Chapter, supporting chapter, Nashville Alumni Chapter. Supporting the Guy Levis, go back please. Supporting the Guy Levis Grant Scholars Award for Brother Michael Weaver, an Alpha Upsilon initiate, Kentucky State University, supporting chapter, Frankfurt Alumni Chapter. For Brother Jeremiah Elston, an Alpha Theta initiate, Tennessee State University, supporting chapter, Nashville Alumni Chapter. Next, please. supporting the Byron Kenneth Armstrong Scholars Award for Brother Kevin Johnson, Alpha Theta Initiate, Tennessee State University, supporting chapter, Nashville Alumni Chapter. Back, please. Brother Zach Dempier, an Alpha Upsilon Colony Initiate of Georgetown College, supporting chapter, Frankfurt Alumni. Next, please. The Resolutions Committee recommend that all 5 of these proposed resolutions be adopted by the province for submission to the Grand Chapter in support of these 5 brothers. This concludes our report. Brother Woolrich, are there any questions?
All right, Brother Ford, thank you. Brothers, all. First, some notations that you must be made aware of with regards to this before we vote to adopt excuse me, the resolutions as presented by Brother Ford, the chairman. First, all 5 are being adopted together. So I want to be clear, all 5 are being adopted together. Secondly, we do not have a poll created for the adoption, excuse me, of these resolutions. With that being said, we will use a hand raise via Zoom. Okay, hand raise via Zoom once we call for the adoption of these resolutions. All right. So with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion at this time to adopt the resolutions as presented by Brother Ford. All right. I see Brother Ray Sean Crawley. Do we have a second? Okay. I see Brother Willie Brooks. Questions to the motion? All right. Now, no questions to the motions. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Brothers, do not remove that as Brother Brown is making note. All right. Okay. Now, all opposed, do likewise. All right. Brothers, the motion carries. Leave the count, Brother Brown. 29-4. The motion carries 29-4. All right, brothers, at this time, we will move forward with Elections Committee report. Brother Smith. Brother Smith, are you present?
Yes, sir, I'm present. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I yield the floor to you.
All right, good morning. All right, brothers, what we have present is the results from the election. Next slide, please. You see this slide here, brothers, we had a total of 87 delegates, 56 submitted a ballot, and 31 no votes. Now, I'm not sure if that was due to maybe email problems, but I didn't receive any emails to anyone bringing up any issues, so we can maybe address that later. All right, next slide. All right, most of these positions that we had was uncontested. So like I put out yesterday in the briefing, you have to have a minimum of 2 candidates in order to make the validate. So that's why you see the uncontested on there. Now, both of these positions here will both receive 100% of the vote. So that is the winners for these 2 positions here. The senior province vice poll mark and junior province vice poll mark. Next slide. For keeper of exchequer and keeper of record, both receive 100% of the vote. Next slide. This position here, the alumni board member for Region 1, was the only contested position. So you can see the results there. Winner was Terry Esper with 82.4% of the vote. Next slide. For alumni board member Region 2 and alumni board member Region 3, both, John Ford for alumni board member Region 2 received 100% of the vote. For alumni board member Region 3, Terrence Tunstall received 97.8% of the vote. Next slide. For alumni board member Region 4, Paul Harris received 100% of the vote. And undergrad board member Region 1, Bryson Brooks, 100% of the vote. Next slide. For undergrad board member Region 3, Bryce Curry, 100% of the vote. And for the position of strategist, Lavantris Hopkins received 96.7% of the vote. A Grand Chapter Nominee Committee, Brennan McMurray, 98.9% of the vote. And Nominating Committee Chairman, Noah Lucas, 100% of the vote. Next slide. All right, there was one Lewis N. Willis Merit Achievement Award for Willie Brooks, and that was approved with 97.8% of the vote. And brothers, that's it. That includes the results for the 75th Province Council election. Are there any questions?
All right, Brother Smith, we
No
see
questions?
no hands raised. All right, Brother Smith, thank you for your report, sir. All right, brothers, moving forward in our agenda. Under new business, we do have some guests with us today. We have 4 brothers who are running for positions at the Grand Board level. Brother Rob Jenkins, Brother Jawanza Watt, Brother Miles Miller, and Brother Lazarus, Alexander. So brothers, one at a time, I'm going to ask them to come forth. I will come up, introduce their name, and then give them an opportunity to speak to us so that they can share with you with regards to why they're running and what they hope to accomplish for the good of Kappa. So first, we will ask Brother Rob Jenkins. Brother Jenkins, are you still present with us?
I am, Brother Senior. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, good brother. Brother Jenkins, to us from the Eastern Province, Brother Jenkins, you have the floor, good brother. Welcome to South Central.
Thank you so much, Brother Senior. And good morning to all the brothers of the South Central Province, and especially to my former colleague, your Province Polmar, Brother Clemens, who I had the pleasure to serve as Province Counsel alongside with him, as well as Senior Vice Province Counsel along with him also. Brothers, it certainly is an honor and a pleasure to have this opportunity to come before you and just share a little bit of information with you about my candidacy for re-election to the Grand Board of Directors. As many of you know, at our most recent Grand Chapter meeting, I was elected to the alumni position on the Grand Board of Directors, having served 4 years as a Province Polemark and previously 3 years as a Senior Vice Province Polemark in the Eastern Province. I'm the spring 1992 initiator of the Howard University chapter, the Z of Kappa Alpha Psi, and a longtime member of the Washington, D.C. alumni chapter, where I also had the pleasure to serve as an alumni chapter Polemark. Brothers, I come before you this morning seeking your support for re-election, not based off of any prior office I've served, nor based on any support you may have lent me in my original campaign for the Grand Board of Directors, but solely based on my performance since that time that I was elected to the Grand Board of Directors. I believe that all office seekers in our fraternity, whether they are to be returned to office or even elevated to a higher office, should rest solely on their performance in the office that they were entrusted to serve in. And I do believe that my performance since our last Grand Chapter meeting warrants consideration for my re-election. I've had the pleasure to work well with our Grand Pole Mark and our entire Grand Board, and had the awesome opportunity to lead a number of initiatives and task force that I do believe are going to, the fraternity is going to reap substantial benefits moving forward. Brother Jawan Zawat and I work very closely with the membership dues subscription program that you'll be hearing more about in the not too distant future. Also work very closely with our Grand Keeper of Records and Exchequer with the Financial Responsibility Task Force to help clean up some of the issues we had surrounding the misappropriation of significant financial resources prior to the 34th administration. These are just a couple of the initiatives that I've been engaged in. Brothers, I want you to know that if you entrust me by once again lending me your support for my reelection, I will continue to work diligently on the Grand Board and making sure that our financial resources are well protected, making sure that we get caught up with our outstanding audits, which we've been working very hard on, and doing other things to help improve the overall well-being of our fraternity. Brother Province Polmark, the senior, I'm certainly, again, delighted for this opportunity. If you or any members of the council have any questions that I might be able to address, I certainly stand ready, willing, and able to address those.
Brother Jenkins, thank you for those remarks. We're pulling up the names now. Give us just a second, Brother Jenkins. Let me see if you have any questions for you. Okay, Brother Jenkins, we do have one hand raised. Brother Carlton, if you could unmute yourself, good brother, and go ahead and ask your question.
My name is Wayne Carlton, Knox Alumni Chapter. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Have you been able to address some concerns or inconsistencies that you ran on in 2019? Have you been able to address those or resolve some of the things that you thought were having problems in the fraternity back in 2019?
Yes, well, I can tell you, I think that a fair answer to that would be yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I do believe that we are making steps toward addressing what I consider to be the major thrust behind my campaign in 2019. And that was the issue surrounding the misappropriation of fraternity assets by our former immediate past Director of Finance at International Headquarters. Certainly, we've made positive steps in that the Grand Board has approved an outside external auditor to come in and to review our financial records and to deliver some answers to the membership concerning the extent of the loss that we suffered and also potentially identifying any other individuals that were responsible. So while that's a step in the right direction, and I was a part of that task force to identify the external auditor, at this point in time, we don't have that project completed. Now we're anticipating having a final report from the outside auditor next month in May before our Grand Board meeting. So until then, I consider that still to be an unresolved issue, but certainly we've made some steps toward resolving it. The other issue that I identified in my 2019 campaign was the outstanding internal audit by our auditor. As many of you may recall, at the time of my campaign in 2019, the fraternity had not had an internal audit done completed since 2016. I am, glad to report that we since have completed 2017 and 2018, but that still leaves 2019 unresolved. So we're making strides toward getting caught up, but that still is not a complete task. So I do believe, the best answer I can give you, brother, is that yes, we've made some strides toward addressing those issues I identified, but we're not completely home yet. Does that answer your question, brother?
Yes, to answer my question, I was on mute. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
All right, Brother Jenkins, it looks like that is all the questions we have for you. Brother Jenkins, I would like to say this before we move on to the next candidate. Good brother, I know that our Province poll mark supports you, so my remarks will not be out of order in the least. To the brothers of the South Central Province, Brother Jenkins is a friend of the South Central Province. We support Brother Jenkins, and I can tell you just from experience, I'm able to serve on several committees for IHQ and the Grand Board, and Brother Jenkins is doing the things that he said he was going to do. I can personally vouch for that, and I give my support behind Brother Jenkins as well. Good luck to you, Brother Jenkins.
Thank you, Brother Senior. I really appreciate it.
All right, good brother. Brothers, we are going to move forward at this time to Brother Miles Miller. He is going to come forward and share with us some remarks with regards to his campaign. Brother Miller, are you present?
Yes, sir. I'm present. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, brothers of the South Central Province. I hope all is well. I hope that you all have been able to conduct, a smooth and successful Province Council. And I just want to thank you for your time today. As stated previously, my name is Brother Miles Miller, Spring 2019 initiate of the Beta Z chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi at the University of Toledo in Ohio. I currently serve on the Northern Province Board of Directors as an undergraduate board member. I've previously served as vice poll marker of the Beta Z chapter, and I currently serve as poll mark for the Beta Z chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm currently a finance major in our College of Business Innovation at the University of Toledo, and this summer I'll be a real estate investment intern with State Farm. As stated, I'm here this morning to announce my candidacy for the office of Junior Grand Vice Poll Mark at this year's Grand Chapter meeting. During my 2 years in the fraternity, I've had ample opportunities to observe Kappa's leadership, which has helped me develop and grow as an individual. If granted the opportunity, I would love to serve this illustrious fraternity at the national level. I would also like to continue to make forward progress in conducting business as past leaders have. Some of the initiatives I would like to work on is strengthening the relationship between undergrad members and Kappa League members. I myself was a Kappa Leaguer, and I feel that was very beneficial for my development. And we had a national call about a month ago, and a lot of the brothers that were speaking up has stated that they were Kappa Leaguers, and I noticed those were the brothers holding leadership positions in the province. I also want to continue to strengthen the relationship between alumni members and undergrad members, because the better that our relationship is, the better we'll be able to conduct business. And lastly, if possible, I'd like to create more opportunities, internship opportunities like the Volkswagen one. I believe that's a great way to leverage the fraternity to help brothers succeed in the professional world. With that being said, I would love to have you all support in my endeavor, and thank you for your time once again.
Brother Miller, thank you, good brother. Are there any questions for Brother Miller? If we could, yep. All right. Brother Miller, we don't have any hands raised, but I would like to say to the brothers, while you are still present with us, on behalf of our Province poll mark, Brother Leonard Clemens, we do endorse you, good brother, and we wish you nothing but success, not only in Kappa Alpha Psi, but in all your future endeavors. God bless you, Brother Miller.
Thank you, good brothers. Appreciate it.
All right. So, brothers, our last presenter is Brother Lazarus Alexander. Brother Alexander, are you present?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Good brother, we're going to go ahead and set up the screen. All right, there you are, Brother Alexander. Okay, I yield the floor to you.
All right, good morning, good brothers. I just want to first thank Brother Clemens and the South Central Province for allowing me to speak before you all today. I am a product of the South Central Province. My name is Lazarus Alexander, and I'm bound to be an undergraduate member for the Grand Board of Directors. I'm an initiate of the $1 Million Monroe chapter of this great fraternity at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I'm a Memphis native, and coming from a city like that, you learn to make something out of nothing. From this mindset, I've learned to grow and chase my aspirations of becoming an otolaryngologist, otherwise known as an ear, nose, and throat doctor in the near future. My main passion lies with the minority community, and that can be shown through my involvement in clubs like National Society of Black Engineers, in which I served as Freshman of the Year for the year 2018 to 2019, as well as Secretary for 2 consecutive years after that. Additionally, I've served with the Minority Enhancement for UT. Initially, I served with Minority Enhancement for UT as a recruiter and also as the Standards of Fraternal Excellence Chair after being initiated to this great fraternity, and now as the Vice Polemarch of my current chapter. I have an everyday passion for leadership as well as a willingness to be led. I care a lot about the general welfare of members, and that can be shown through my chapter involvement. My main objectives of my campaign is to support the Grand Polemarch in achieving his vision for the new strategic plan and to help implement that and connecting undergraduates to alumni everywhere. I like to provide thoughtful contributions on the impact of policy for undergraduates and the fraternity as a whole. I like to provide simple solutions to complex problems, which is something that I'm used to, as I'm a biomolecular engineering major on a pre-med route here at the University of Tennessee. I like to be an advocate for undergraduate members everywhere and just a voice for them to be heard.
All right, Brother Alexander, thank you. Brothers, before we move on from Brother Alexander, are there any questions? If I could, I can't. All right. All right, there doesn't appear to be any questions. Okay, so Brother Alexander, I want to say to you, good brother, not only do we support you, we absolutely, unequivocally support you, good brother. So we got your back. You don't have to even worry about any of that. We're going to make this thing happen for you. Yeah, because you represent us oh so well. Thank you, Brother Alexander. All right. So brothers, moving forward in our agenda, with regards to old business, we have no items. That will take us on into our closing for the good of Kappa. I do have two things to share, and then I will hand it back over to our province Polemarch and then open it up to any brothers who have any remarks at that time. First, I want to acknowledge the Grand Polemarchs who are present with us this weekend. Our current Grand Polemarch, Brother Reuben Shelton III, Esquire, and the 33rd Grand Polemarch, Brother Thomas Battles Jr. They were present with us this weekend, and we certainly are thankful for their participation. To the province Polemarchs who were present and the senior province vice Polemarchs who support Brother Clemens and myself, as well as the leadership and the brothers of the South Central Province, thank you. To all members of IHQ, all fraternal dignitaries, and brothers all who participated this weekend with this virtual province council, we are certainly thankful for your presence and participation. The second point I want to make is to Brother Javon Lindsay. Brother Javon Lindsay is an outstanding member of not only our province, but the fraternity as a whole, but in particular with regards to our province. This young man is a graphic designer extraordinaire. And I know a little bit about what I'm talking about because I am a graphic designer myself with regards to my education. But it takes one to know one, brothers. And when I tell you he is on another level, you can take that to the bank. Brother Javon Lindsay, with regards to the graphics that you have seen this weekend, with everything that goes on with our social media, also the formatting and everything that has been done for this virtual council to be pulled off, this young brother did that. What we need to do is pour our efforts and energies into talents such as this. So if any brother throughout our province, if you have need and you do not know a young brother in your own chapters or in your own cities, okay, that can yield graphic design work, you need to be calling this brother. He is also our province webmaster. His contact information, I don't know it off the top of my head, but you can find it on the province website. So I'm encouraging all brothers under the sound of my voice, go to the province website if you have any need. He also does photography, okay? So again, this young brother is super talented. You know, God pours within each of us at least one talent and one gift. And then for some reason, he decides to pour a whole lot into others. And he certainly poured a whole lot into Brother Lindsay. Brother Lindsay, we can't thank you enough. But I wanted to take this opportunity to highlight you and point you out, good brother, for all the work you have done this weekend. Job well done. Brothers, at this time, I'm going to yield the microphone to the 24th South Central Province Polemarch, Brother Leonard Clemens.
Good brothers, good brothers. So we have had two very good, successful business sessions. We're doing very well, pacing ourselves very well. And as we come to a conclusion of this business session, I just want to give extra gratitude and thanks to you. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your agility and your flexibility in your ways of participating and how you've conducted the business of Kappa Alpha Psi throughout the entire fraternal year. So my extended gratitude and continued thanks. I also want to remind you that at 1:00 p.m. we have the Student Achievement Program. We want you to attend that. And then at 4:00 p.m. is the closed program. At 4:00 p.m. we will also be announcing all of the Achievement Award winners, Chapter of the Years, Individual Brother of the Years, and things of that nature. At the Student Achievement Luncheon at 1:00 p.m., we will also hear the winners of the Hillary Holloway Scholarship by way of what we call a Kappa Scholar. And so we're excited about that. We'll also see some of the Student of the Year competitions during the Student Achievement Program. So click on the link that you received in the email for the closed program, for the Student Achievement Program. It will take you directly there. And we look forward to your participation. But again, thank you, brothers. Thank you all. To all the brothers that helped pull this off. I'm going to shout out some names live. Hopefully I don't forget any, but they have been a part of this planning team. Those brothers that you see here on the screen, myself, Brother Woolrich, Brother Elson, Brother Brown, Brother McMichael, and then our planning team, Brother Andre Douglas, Brother Tony Smith, Brother Solomon Perrier, Brother Jarvon Lindsay. Thank you to those brothers. Brother Noah Lucas, Brother John Ford, Brother Terrence Tunstall, Brother Dumaka Shabazz, Brother Brennan McMurray, Brother Jerome Cephas, Brother Rodney Broom, and Brother Buford Smith. All of them had a hand in putting this together. And so I'm so grateful for them and for the continued support of the local chapter who were here to kind of help us out, some Louisville alumni chapter. So brothers, I really hope that you have enjoyed this experience. I really hope that you saw the effort and the energy, as you see here with these screens and all this other stuff that the planning team put in to ensure that you're going to have a quality virtual Province Council experience. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll entertain any members. Please raise your hand if you have any other items in the For Good of Kappa that you would like to announce to the brothers.
All right. Okay, so we recognize Brother Broom. Brother Broom, please unmute yourself.
Good morning, brothers.
Good morning.
First, I want to announce that on behalf of the Frankfurt Alumni Chapter in support of our brothers at Rho Sigma, Georgetown College, we want to acknowledge that we had two brothers who were announced as all-conference football for the NAIA season going on right now. Brother Sam Dingle made first team all-conference offensive lineman, and Brother Zach Dampier made second team all-conference for at the position of quarterback. And in about 1 hour, they have a home playoff game against Concordia out of Michigan. So hopefully, hopefully that game, I believe, was supposed to be streamed. Go to the Georgetown College website, and I believe that game will be streamed. But they're playing Concordia, who was at a 5-0 record, Georgetown College with a 6-1 record, in a home playoff game. That's why I've been texting with them and everything, wishing them luck. So this is a big deal for them, and hopefully they'll be successful in this game this afternoon. And one other piece, Brother Clemens, I am getting my vaccine, so you can stop getting on me. I'm getting my second shot today. So I'm taking the lead, and it's scary, but it's necessary. Thank you, brothers.
All right. Thank you, Brother Broom. Brother Mitchell, for the good of Kappa.
Brothers, I would just like to say, Purnell Mitchell, on behalf of Election Alumni Chapter, I would just like to say thank you on a very wonderful province this weekend. You guys have done a phenomenal job. in the current circumstances and situation. So kudos to you guys too. Omar Clemens and the entire team. Thank you guys for a very wonderful province. Congratulations.
Brother Mitchell, thank you, good brother. All right. All right, Brother Lindsay, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, brothers all, brothers from Lindsay, local alumni chapter. I would like to thank Brother Providence Pomark and also Brother Senior Vice Providence Pomark as well for your leadership, for your sentiments, and also the brothers as well who have encouraged me along this way, along this journey. As Brother Providence Pomark said, that we all have a job to do. We all have a talent that we have been given, and that we are to exercise the talent in whatever way possible. So I definitely appreciate your words of encouragement, and thank you, brothers.
Yes, sir, Brother Lindsay. Compliments are easy to give when they're true. All right, Brother Studstill, you have the floor, good brother.
Good morning, brothers. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
First of all, job well done to Providence Poll Mark Clemens and the entire staff for the Providence meeting. Al Studstill, Nashville alumni, Poll Mark. I'd just like to announce a week from today, Nashville alumni chapter will be celebrating its 95th Charter Day, which will be done via Zoom. We'll send that information out, and we ask that as many brothers can join us in that affair. Please do so. Brother Clemens, we look forward to having you with us, as well as Brother Woolridge. Thank you, brothers.
Sir, God willing, I will be there. All right. Brothers, I don't see any other hands raised. If that's the case, moving forward, that will bring us to a conclusion of our second business session. We will formally adjourn later this evening. Our closed banquet will be 4 o'clock via Zoom, brothers. So at that time, we will formally adjourn. But at this time, that brings us to a close. So brothers all, again, thank you for your participation. I look forward to seeing you again very soon in the flesh, where we can truly have good brotherhood, fraternize, and truly enjoy this bond. And I look forward to giving everybody the grip again, but you won't get the grip from me until you get vaccinated. God bless you, good brothers. Everybody take care. That closes the second business session.